Crazy busy today, yeah? Big meeting. Around half our big clients turned up, and you know, I'm the only one who really gets who everyone is, so I was running the whole show, yeah. I run a tight ship. People notice that about me. Jonathan said to me when I first started working at Motivica that I'm an example of getting on without an education. I got kicked out of uni. They didn't like my work ethic, so I landed this incredible starter job in the city, administrating for this big law firm. I think they could see I was ready for the real world, you know? I checked out some of the guys from uni on Facebook the other day. They're mostly still struggling along in little temp jobs. We're still really close. But I saw Pete the other week actually, yeah, he was all telling me about his life, you know, house parties and hanging out, and he stopped and was like, oh, I guess that's not your thing. I said, no, I think I've grown out of hanging out. I get on better with my workmates, other people in the real world, you know. We go out Wednesdays and Fridays for drinks around the corner. It's a nice wine bar, very smart, my kind of place. By the weekend, I pretty much just need my own space, so I quite often don't see anyone. I kick back, do a face mask. It's so important to take care of your body. And I do a lot of reading on weekends too. I'm very well read. People get surprised by what I know, like I need a degree to work out how to open a book. I read a lot. Christie, Fleming, Dexter, and I've covered Roman civilizations, law obviously, medicine. I shagged a doctor the other day. He was sweet, about my age. I think maybe I intimidated him. I do that sometimes. I think it's because I'm so self-assured for my age. Anyway, he was trying to show off and he said he was going to examine me. I was like, okay, doctor. So he starts his kissing and stroking. Definitely one of the sweet ones, you know, the kind that are interested in your whole body. Anyway, after a while, I think he forgot what he was doing because he actually started to examine me, you know, like a doctor. I had to laugh when he got up to turn the light on to get a better look. I turned over, you know, to maybe like remind him where he was, and he looked up and announced I should get my moles checked. I guess maybe he thought I'd be so impressed I wouldn't notice how shy he was. Well, that backfired for him. I said, don't worry, I know how to look after myself. Graduate boys always want to wow you with what they know. Well, it doesn't cut it with me. And I meant it. I do know about moles. I read up on it a few years ago. As long as the mole is a consistent colour, you're fine. I have an excellent memory for facts, yeah. People notice that about me. Jonathan said to me the other day, we should invite you along to one of our pub quizzes, Sarah, you'd be good. I said, yeah, I'm even better in a crisis. I didn't know they had a pub quiz. It's like that around here, so busy, so much going on. Even someone like me can miss the odd thing. My desk's right in the thick of it, in the middle. You need your administrators to really know what's going on, yeah? No use shoving them in a corner. I sit next to these two sweet little things, straight out of their LPC year, Stacey and Amy. They're old friends. They've always got their heads together. It's like they're in school. I caught them doing each other's hair the other day. They're a hit with the men. I worry though. There'll only be one position available when their training finishes. They'll probably end up competing, or one of them will run off and get married. Stacey doesn't seem too serious. She's always off on a lunchtime with her boyfriend. And she's been off her food lately. You know, I wouldn't be surprised to hear the sound of a shotgun, yeah. I'm too busy with my work for all that, you know. Maybe if it had worked out with Steve, but even at 16, I could handle commitment. I don't know if he'll ever work it out. They've moved me to a new desk. It's a little nook in the corner. An administrator's better off out of the rat race. I need a good vantage point. The two girls are still there, surrounded by men on all sides. They all went off to get their slips this morning. It's the new company insurance procedure. Jonathan asked me to keep an eye on things at the office. The way they all joke around the whole time, I can see why he picked me. He needs someone he can rely on, yeah. We all got the afternoon off in the end. Apparently some people had never been tested before and it came as a bit of a shock. One of the girls, Stacey, had a particularly nasty one, childbirth. Thing is, HR will know that's probably fairly soon. Most manner of deaths are fine because they could happen at any time, but it's bad luck if you get one that has to be when you're young. I've read the company mortality policy. I like to make sure I really understand what's going on. She won't get that job now. No chance. Her friend will get it. She's dying of pneumonia, I think, probably old age. Means her pension contributions will be higher, though. I should start charging for advice on company policy. I'll pop in and get my slip tomorrow on the way home. There's a machine in Boots. Poison in the pages of a book. Something really dramatic's going to happen to me. I knew this couldn't be it. It's murder. It has to be. Poison in the pages of a book. It sounds like something Poirot would investigate, but it makes sense. If you wanted to kill me, you wouldn't have to watch me for long to work out I'm a reader. Everybody knows that about me. If it was an ordinary murder, you'd just put poison in my coffee, wouldn't you? Maybe I become a spy. They headhunt people, don't they? They just contact you out of the blue if you've got what they need. I've got a Latin A-level. My occupation? I'm afraid that's classified. Poker? Naturally. Jonathan, I'm sorry, we could never be together. Please, don't ask me to explain. They might already be watching me. MI6. See how I deal with different situations. I might have slept with one of their agents. They could easily plant one as a delegate. I wonder if Steve would ever find out. I could never tell him. It's probably for the best. He wouldn't have been able to handle the pressure. He's not like me. He might find out after I die, though. She was a remarkable woman. Yes, indeed. MI6 relied on her. Oh, didn't you know? She was a spy. He's engaged now, Facebook says. Her name's Sherry. I didn't know that was a name. I don't know her. We've got no mutual friends, so she's probably someone he met at uni. She's quite pretty. Well, he wouldn't if she wasn't. Not that he's, you know, looks-wise, but... It's probably a manner of death thing. That's pretty common now. Couples getting together because they're going to die in the same way, like it's fate or whatever. I've got no time for stuff like that. Pretty much married to my work. I'm indispensable to them. Jonathan realises that. I was carrying some files the other day and he said, well, you seem to know what you're doing. I knew what he meant, yeah. That guy called again, the doctor. I find if you leave it 3 days without replying, you weed out the losers. He hasn't tried again. That doctor called again. Well, he got his receptionist to call. He got me in for an appointment yesterday. Went through all the scans and procedures. He looked different in his white coat, older, maybe a bit more grown up. Apparently, melanoma moles don't always change colour if they're cancerous. I'm sure I read that somewhere.